Hello everyone. Welcome to today's webinar session. See everybody's trickling in. All right, well, thank you all for joining this afternoon to learn about the shift in online search and where web traffic is really coming from in 2026. So, and as marketers, this is something that might be keeping you up at night. Search experiences today look vastly different from what they looked like even this time last year. But good news is that you're here. We're going to be diving into our very first ever small business website traffic report. So many great insights to unpack today and some big takeaways that you can take action on today as soon as you leave the session to improve your competitive edge in the complex and ever-evolving world of online search. And so, still giving everybody a little bit of time to jump on. And as we are, I would love to kick us off and I want to hear from you guys. So let's test out the question box in your platform and chime in. Tell me where you're tuning in from today. And I would love to read some of these results because I love hosting these and seeing just from all the different areas of the world. We're all coming together and it's all spread out, but we're all coming together for one thing, and it's to improve our marketing. So let me see, call out some questions. Oregon. Oh, I have yet to visit Oregon, and that's on my bucket list. I heard it's beautiful there. We got Canada, Grand Rapids, Michigan, another Canada, LA, Indiana. Gosh, we're spread out today. Denver, Dayton, Ohio. I moved from Columbus, Ohio to where I'm now here in Dallas, Texas, but very familiar. Oh, we have a Columbus, Ohio. Nice. Boston, Kansas City. Wow. Okay. I love this. I love seeing all the different. There's a Florida. I was looking for Florida and my Texans, New York. We got New England, South Dakota. Wow. Oh, I love this. California, Vermont. I'm so happy to have all of you coming from all over the place join today. Very excited. I wish I could call it every single one of you that are tuning in, and thank you for chiming in the chat box. Please, please, please keep doing that throughout the session today. And I'm looking forward to it, but we've got a lot of good stuff to unpack today. So let's get started. All right, so I'm going to kick us off today with a couple of housekeeping notes. For everybody on this call today, please note that today's session is recorded and you have no need to take any notes. Don't even worry about it. All the material you'll get sent directly to your inbox soon after this, and that includes a copy of the slides and includes the recording too. And also know that all of our webinar recordings are posted on Local IQ and WordStream's YouTube channels if you ever want to go back and watch and catch up. And so reason I had everybody chime in on that question box is to make sure that, yes, continue to flow with questions and comments and engagement throughout this entire session. But also we have a really special live Q&A at the very end, and stick around. Before we go any further, just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page on who Local IQ is. So some of you may already be working with us, and that's wonderful. Thanks for joining us today. And some of you might be totally new, and if so, welcome, welcome. We're so glad to have you here with us today. And some of you may be familiar with our thought leadership brand, WordStream, or USA Today Network. So how does it all fit together, right? So Local IQ is how businesses attract and retain ideal customers. So we keep you on the right track with an all-in-one digital platform, but we have a personalized approach with personal experts that really know your industry. And we keep you one step ahead with power of lead management and the help of AI to faster follow-up and conversions. One thing that we are very proud of is that we are a premier partner with all of the major advertising platforms, including our newest addition, TikTok. We are honored and thrilled to be one of the first TikTok marketing partners. This partnership is opening doors for businesses ready to grow on a platform where over 1 billion people come to discover, connect, and take action. So very excited to join this new program with TikTok. And so looking at all these badges, all of these is not something to just that we take for granted. It's really only given to businesses, these awards, that display the clear success for their customers and display that thought leadership in the field and meet the various requirements for each platform. And I would like to introduce myself. I am your host for today's webinar session. My name is Alexandra Howard. People call me Alex. I have come with over 8 years of experience in marketing and brand. I actually got my undergrad in Louisiana for marketing, and then I had my master's in executive management in Ohio. And I have worn so many hats in my career, starting off with social media internship. I have been a paid specialist where I have built end-to-end campaigns from search and social. I have been in sales. I have actually owned my own full-service marketing agency at one point for 6 years. So, but that has led me here today to be the brand manager of Local IQ. And I am based out of Dallas, Texas. And I would love to stay connected with all of you after this session. So if you are on LinkedIn, please give me a search and add me. And feel free after the session to message me with any questions or just any comments, feedback about today's session. And of course, we would love for you to stay connected with our brands on social and on our website as well. We are on all of the major social media channels, WordStream and Local IQ. Visit our website where we have a ton of blogs and great guides that you could download for any resources too. So, looking at our agenda for today, we're going to talk about how we're monitoring the current website trends that are going on right now. Then we'll see how search is fundamentally changing, and then we'll assess some of what's the current state of SEO for small businesses, and traffic and visibility, that search distribution. What is that search page engine or the search page looking like nowadays? And then we'll talk about how AI and GEO are making an impact on this landscape. And then lastly, we'll close out with what wins in AI and GEO search. But first, if you've attended our webinar sessions before, you know that we love keeping you on your toes. So we're going to do a pop quiz question. What is your favorite search result type? Is it a quick answer from those AI overviews? Do you actually prefer video, an image, maybe like an infographic to give you your answer, like more of a visual answer, or something else? Let me know in the question box. And I mean, personally for me, my favorite type of search result has lately been video. I like to see those quick short reels from either Instagram or TikTok that give me the answer, but also provide a little bit more context, and it feels more personal from a video that either just wraps a quick explanation. Let me see what everybody's saying. Everybody's saying quick answer, AI overviews. Okay. I mean, I totally get that. It's so convenient. You don't have to open up 15 million tabs to find your answer. Okay, I got another fellow video. Infographic, okay. Ooh, good point. Quick answer, bonus points if it shows the link and where it's coming from. Yes, credible source, and if you can actually trust where that's coming from and the date of that source is very, very important. Okay, I'm actually seeing majority of rolling with quick answer, the AI summaries. Okay, very interesting. Well, that's great to kick off this next section on how we're monitoring the current trends and what SEO, GEO, and the future of traffic is looking like. What does this mean for small businesses? How is it affecting where that traffic is coming from? And what can you do to keep web leads and traffic flowing? So we're going to answer all of those questions and a whole lot more in our first ever small business website traffic trends report. So we surveyed over 300 small businesses from dozens of different niches to learn where they're losing traffic and how they're reacting to shifts in search. and which channels are emerging as the new winners. So let's cover a breakdown of the businesses we surveyed to set up more context of this report. So the industries that participated in the survey, majority, 34%, was from manufacturing, 28% was professional services, 11% came with personal services and education, 27% was retail and wholesale. Now, no surprise, we just wanted to ask the foundational question, does your company have a website? And of course, majority said yes. But it's not that surprising that over half of the solopreneurs don't have a website. But it's not surprising, right? But it is unexpected to see the full 35% of businesses with multiple employees don't have one. So small businesses aren't just using their website to generate interest, right? We saw that 70% say that visitors can directly purchase from their site, and majority of their website was a significant source for leads and prospects. So what does this mean? How is search fundamentally changing, and why is SEO alone no longer enough in this new landscape? The borders of traditional SEO have been breached. A single Google results page may now show you a YouTube video, an AI answer, a Reddit thread, a Yelp listing, and an Instagram post, all in just one search, right? And meanwhile, more people are turning to generative search engines like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google Gemini, and they bypass Google altogether, right? So in summary, search doesn't just equal Google anymore. People are discovering brands through search engines, social media platforms, AI tools, marketplaces, and directories. So what does this mean for website traffic? But first, pop quiz, keeping you on your toes, and I really want to know, I can't wait to read the answers on this one. Where do you think most people are starting search today? Where do you think most people are starting their search journey today? What channel? Do you think they are starting in Google? Do you think they are, are they starting in Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, right? I would love to know where you think, if it's evolved today, or do you still think Google search reigns king, or are they asking Siri? Okay, ChatGPT, valid. Oh my goodness, I'm seeing a lot of people say ChatGPT. So a lot of people are saying AI tools. I do see a couple of social sprinkled in there. TikTok, Facebook, Bing. Okay. I mean, that's not wrong though, because it's depending on the device type. ChatGPT. We still see, okay, I'm still seeing a lot of Google. Amazon, Alexa, that's another really good source for AI tools. Okay. There's a lot of alignment here, but majority for if we're seeing a split, it's going to be between Google and AI tools like ChatGPT or ChatGPT. Goodness. So, well, we asked the study participants to tick all of the sources they consider to be the main source of their website traffic. So let's dive into those results. So drum roll, overall, the top 3 sources of website traffic were social media at 64%, organic search at 52%, and referrals at 51%. It was surprising to see social media beat organic search by a fairly wide margin. And social media marketing, if you actually follow me along on this chart at the top, we also had a small business marketing trends report, and in that report had similarities where social media marketing and social ads actually topped SEO as the most promotional channel for small businesses. And so social media has now become a significant alternative for product and brand discovery. And we see in our survey that small businesses consider it as or more important than search engines for finding new traffic and customers. And so looking at these results and trends, what does this really mean? It means that businesses need to put some of their limited resources into their social media accounts, or they're going to miss out in the shift of this consumer behavior. And on the other end of the spectrum, speaking of AI tools, AI was actually the least often chosen and the most important traffic source in this survey results. 18% of businesses believing that AI sources are a top traffic driver. And that makes sense because many AI searches end in 0 clicks. That's just the reality of it. AI answers questions directly, reduces the need to click, and changes what success looks like in your website traffic reporting. And clicks are they're getting harder to earn, in summary. So this explains why some businesses they see traffic loss without doing anything wrong. And AI answers they satisfy intent faster. And so today, being visible doesn't mean getting the click. And this is that big takeaway. The biggest takeaway I can give you from this section right here is visibility now matters more than rankings. So it's still important, yes, but it's no longer the whole strategy. Google is still the 800-pound search gorilla. The upcoming challenge for businesses will be balancing the time they spend optimizing for that traditional search engines, right, with growing their presence on social media and gaining traction in AI platforms. So it'll take some creative strategy and new tools, and many of them AI powered, to actually strike that balance. Moving on to our next section, let's examine how SEO fits into small businesses' overall marketing plans and how they're planning to address it over the next year and beyond. We asked businesses how familiar they were with SEO. And I would think majority of marketers on this call, SEO has been around for decades, right? So this results that we're seeing here are not surprising. Awareness is not the problem anymore, right? So solopreneurs, those who, the second column that you see here from the left, and large companies in comparison to those that have 11 to 100 employees, those survey results look a lot alike. And so businesses with 2 to 10 employees lag slightly on just how familiar they are with SEO. And these businesses often they DIY everything and not yet resourced for specialists. So this group is actually especially vulnerable to the disruption of AI and GEO search. Moving forward to seeing how are companies managing their SEO today. So half of SMBs are wearing the SEO hat internally, and many are juggling SEO alongside of their sales, operations, and customer service. And a notable portion aren't doing SEO consistently or at all, which is very, very surprising to me. As businesses grow, they're more likely to use agencies or combine these internal and external expertise. And this reflects SEO's growing complexity. So technical SEO, we're talking about content, having to refresh that all the time, strategy, and measurement. But majority rules that SEO still delivers value today. So despite all of the noise, SEO sentiment is largely positive from our survey results. Larger SMBs are especially confident. On the surface, SEO appears to be working, which is really great to see. And around 30% of small SMBs aren't seeing strong results or can't clearly measure performance, which that's a really big gap here that needs to be filled in looking at these results. This jumps up to over 40% for solopreneurs. And so major gap here, measurement and then attribution, which is the foundation to know what is working and what's not, how you can improve on weaknesses, and identifying and taking advantage of new opportunities in this new search landscape. So in summary, that measurement and attribution are critical to that smart decision making. Big takeaway from this section, SEO, majority are familiar with it, but the landscape is shifting. So now let's take a look at the traffic volatility and what that search engine results page and how it's being disrupted by AI and GEO. And why these results feel less predictable even when SEO looks fine. So, but just kidding. I'm going to hit you with a pop quiz first. I like to keep you guys on your toes. Want to make sure you're still with me. In fact, this is probably my favorite question in the pop quiz question I'm going to ask you guys today, because I want to keep it real. I want to keep it genuine with you. How are we really feeling? So tell me in the question box, how are you really feeling about AI changing the basic way we find information online? And I'm going to read off some of these questions whenever you guys type in the question box. I mean, you could be feeling relief and saving time, like we kind of touched on earlier, how you don't have to open 15 tabs to find the answer you're looking for, right? And then you could be maybe feeling skeptical. Do you trust AI generated answers? Are you feeling anxious that it might hurt your business visibility? Or are you excited for new opportunities to get found by customers from different sources that AI search is pulling from, rather than just relying on your Google rankings? Okay, people comfortable. Love it. Okay, that's life. Valid. You got to go with the flow, man. If you try and swim upstream and fight the current, it ends up being a lot harder. It's good to change from pure SEO. I agree with that. Okay, uncertain but optimistic. Love it. Okay, we're feeling, I think, a good sentiment here. Pretty certain, but I love how actually a lot of these comments are saying that, we're relying on it, we're open to it, and we're happy about it, but we still double check AI, which is very, very important to do so. You cannot always rely that AI is giving you the 100% correct answer all the time. Somewhat skeptical. Okay, I love this. I love this transparency, and I love the genuine feedback on just how we're really feeling about it, man, because it's a lot. It's moving fast. A lot is changing. So let us dive into what are we seeing here in our reporting for traffic loss. And sentiment here is 40% of SMBs report traffic losses that are tied to algorithm changes or to AI-assisted searches. Now, traffic loss was not evenly distributed. So this isn't isolated to one industry, right? Or limited to bad SEO that we're seeing these results here. So this is a structural shift in how search works, is what we're seeing here. Larger teams are more likely to notice traffic drops for two key reasons. One being more keywords and the page is exposed to change, okay? And then better analytics and tracking as well. And so if you're watching data closely, you're more likely to feel that shift, if that makes sense. So that's why I wanted to touch base with you guys on how we're really feeling about everything in the changing landscape. And let's look at the biggest challenges that businesses are facing with their website right now. So we wanted to know the obstacles that are keeping them from maximizing their results. And so driving and converting traffic was the biggest challenge overall, with 35% of the replies falling into that bucket. And specific challenges that they listed here included getting seen organically or maintaining a consistent level of traffic. And the second most common website challenge revolved around keeping content fresh and relevant. 20% of the responses landed in this category. And so maintaining a website is a labor-intensive endeavor. So it makes sense that the small businesses with limited resources are feeling that burden. But SMBs still have the upper hand with local search. So people still use search engines to find businesses, obviously, especially local ones. And so those that land spots of these result pages will get more attention, yes, Google queries that include specific location names are less likely to trigger an AI overview. And studies are showing that click-through rates drop when AI overviews are present. So those local businesses may be taking less of a AI overview traffic penalty with the local search intent being near me or location, geo, wherever their geo is. Or it could be a specific coffee shop in Denver, Colorado, right? So, biggest takeaway from this section here is traffic loss doesn't automatically mean SEO failure. Now, enter AI and generative engine search optimization, how it's affecting search engine results pages. But first, pop quiz. I'm keeping you guys on your toes. I would love to know, how often do you use voice search? I don't know about you guys, we're about to find out, but I habitually use voice search. I mean, hey Siri, rather it's between that or, is it not working? Hey Siri. There we go. Yeah, or I like to either just go into either Google Gemini, ChatGPT, and even use just the microphone feature where it types out the text for me using via voice. Makes it a whole lot faster and more convenient. So I'm looking at the results in the question box. How often do you use voice search? Not at all. Okay. Sometimes. Pretty much every time. Okay. Mixed results here. Not at all. Often, especially with AI. Siri doesn't like me. Speaking of, I'm not talking to you right now, Siri. 2 to 3 times a week, 75%. Never use voice. Interesting. Oh, I triggered your Siri. I'm sorry, Kelly. All the time. When driving, as you should. As you should. Thank God for technology in that way. Wow. I'm like saying, okay, so we're pretty spread out on how we're in like the use of voice search. And those of you that have never used it, maybe you go and test it after this session. But that was just me trying to get a touch for moving into really how voice and that new search experience really is a contributing factor to the shift from SEO and now GEO becoming part of that SEO strategy. So let's do the basic, right? GEO. GEO is generative engine optimization, the practice of optimizing your website pages so that they're cited in AI searches like Siri and ChatGPT and Gemini and AI overviews, right? So this helps, the GEO helps your content to be understood by AI tools, to be cited by AI generated answers, and stay visible even when clicks decline. That is the most important takeaway of GEO. So let's unpack it with an example. I can read the first 2 sentences on your webpage and tell you if AI search engines will cite it. So for example, if the first sentence on your website reads, at XYZ Corporate, we strive for excellence. That's like a buzzy slogan with no context, right? So, but now if we try, your business name provides 24/7 emergency plumbing in Denver. That is specific, credible, and contextual. So, I mean, do you guys see the difference here? The first one compared to the second one, like the first one is a slogan. The other one tells AI who, what, and who it's for right up front. And those are the intent signals that AI engines look for in those first 200 words of your content. And as we think about that too, think about just going back to like the voice and how people are now searching. It's just a whole new experience. And just the way that it's now being pulled from different sources. And so we asked SMBs how familiar are they with GEO, right? And in findings, GEO hasn't reached SEO level awareness yet. And larger teams tend to be more further along, and that's kind of would be assumed. But smaller teams often don't have time or space to explore emerging channels. And so the larger organizations report higher GEO familiarity. This mirrors what we saw with SEO as well. But GEO may offer opportunities to close that gap instead of widen it. So then we asked if they were monitoring the AI referrals and mentions on their website traffic reporting. And about half of businesses are actively watching AI-driven visibility, which is great. So monitor increases with size and resources. This is still an early stage behavior, but momentum is very clear here. As we see, like the split right now, it's at 50-50 on total. Are they monitoring or are they mentioning? So why does GEO change the playing field, right? Not only did we just talk about, the different, how the experience itself and the journeys look like. Today, with voice search and AI tools, the fundamental change is how we approach content optimization. So traditional SEO is optimized for visibility and search results, earning clicks, converting users to your website. GEO is that generative engines operate on different principles than traditional search, like ChatGPT. They don't prioritize sending traffic to external websites. AI search engines synthesize information from multiple sources into a single response. So this means relying solely on your website for visibility is no longer sufficient. Keyword targeting it's not enough. And your brand needs to be present across multiple platforms in a consistent, recognizable way. Citations do not equal rankings. So in traditional SEO, links are everything, right? They drive traffic, they press authority, they serve as the primary way users navigate to your content, right? But today, people are not just clicking, they're asking, right? And so in generative AI world, citations have replaced links, okay? And so AI cites brands that are consistent, are specific, are credible, going back to that result on the first sentence of your website. They're doing that across multiple platforms like Facebook community groups. It could be a Yelp review. It could be a local business listing directory, right? Could be an industry-specific blog content. So, and this is all to appear as a trusted source in AI Site View. So, what is the biggest takeaway from that section? GEO isn't a separate strategy. No, it is the next phase of search. The future of search is not about choosing between traditional SEO and GEO. It's about creating an integrated strategy that ensures visibility regardless of how people seek the information. So, what wins in AI and GEO search? We asked our survey participants in the report and where this visibility actually comes from. AI favors core websites. So the top pages that reference in AI answers are home pages, the product and service pages, and about pages, right? So AI tends to pull pages that clearly explain what you do, establish credibility, and match user intent quickly. And so these are often pages businesses already have or may not optimize fully, with the highest being homepage, product and service pages, the contact page, and about page. So why do these pages matter more than blog content, Very, very good question that we've had a lot of marketers and businesses ask us, because intent matters more than volume. So intent signals that AI looks for, the who, what, and who it's for right up front. Leads, they are key for lead generation because they connect your content to the right query and the right searchers. That boosts visibility across search and AI answers. So going back to the example that I gave you of the first sentence on your website, if you have your business name, what you service, what you're providing, your product, and the location, that is directly credible, and AI immediately reads that right off the bat and knows exactly how to satisfy that quick intent, right? So what are SMBs doing to improve visibility, AI visibility, okay? AI tends to pull from pages that explain what you do, credibility, match users' intent, right? These, and what we're seeing them do is they are structuring pages with the clear descriptions, and they are optimizing the readability with short paragraphs and bullet listed to main key takeaways of, hey, when you come here, this is exactly what we're going to answer for you right up front. And then ensuring the fast load times are very, very important in this. And then we're also saying they're monitoring the AI driven traffic and zero click search trends, which is going again back to the measuring and the attribution point is your solid foundation to know what are you doing right, wrong, and where are the new opportunities that you can take advantage of. And GEO, though, comes with new challenges, and we asked them the challenges that they're facing right now when it comes to now adapting and adding GEO as a part of their search strategy. Top challenges include competitors in the AI summaries and difficulty tracking AI referrals and declining organic traffic. Going back to one of the big takeaways we had earlier, declining traffic does not mean that you don't have a successful SEO strategy. Again, this landscape is just, and how people are finding information is just evolving. And so, tracking those AI referrals and your mentions are critical. And these challenges are shared across all business sizes. And no single issue dominates. It's a mix. This tells us that GEO is still maturing as a channel and maturing in people's overall strategies. Now, looking at the overlap, SEO and GEO overlap much more than you may think. Good SEO actually supports GEO. So both SEO, GEO reward experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness, if any of you have heard of Google's EAT. So just as some businesses fail to adapt the move from print to digital, right? Those who ignore the rise of generative AI risk becoming invisible in this new search landscape. And so this shift also creates an unprecedented opportunities, though. So it's not all negative, doesn't have to be all scary. Brands that understand how to create AI optimized content, build recognize authority, and maintain presence across the digital ecosystem will find themselves naturally featured in the AI responses that increasingly shape how people are finding information. So, just to recap, good SEO actually supports GEO. So that solid foundation. The biggest takeaway I got for you here, AI search rewards clarity, not volume. And as we roll into the overall takeaways of today, biggest takeaways, search has expanded beyond just the blue links. Declining clicks don't always mean declining visibility, and SEO still matters, but it works best along GEO. And the visibility now depends on how clearly and consistent you show up. So I just want to wrap up with those key takeaways. and we're soon getting to our live Q&A, and I have seen so many questions come through this chat during the session, and I'm very, very excited to get through to all of them. But as we navigate this evolving landscape together, we know it brings new challenges, new opportunities, and if you're curious about how your current search strategy measures up to the new age of GEO and AI, we'd be happy to help out with that. We can offer a complimentary assessment to explore those personalized possibilities. So if you see the pop-up window, just simply click yes or no if you're interested. And I'll give everybody some time while they are answering and dive into live Q&A. And oh my goodness, I have so many questions throughout this chat, and thank you all for the consistent engagement. Okay, so now let's dive in. Yes, the copy of the presentation will be directly sent to your inbox shortly after this, along with the recording of this session as well. So I actually see several of those. Okay, so looking at some of the questions, where can you learn more about GEO? Is there a course or a class to look for? Actually, you can head to wordstream.com and it has tons of resources on GEO, how search is evolving. It even has a really great article on SEO versus GEO. And this whole small business website traffic report is also on the website. So 100% recommend that you head to wordstream.com, has every resource that you need in all of this and all of the changing landscape and how adapting your strategy to GEO. Okay, looking through more of these questions. Let's see. Okay, many are just guessing. Let's see. Where are the objective measurements from professional entities to support their impression and beliefs? Let's see. What are the stats on where we are going, the future of SEO and GEO from expert sources and not SMBs themselves? Again, I really would highly recommend that you go to visit us on WordStream. We come out with a lot of reports all the time that don't necessarily just apply to SMBs. We collaborate with a ton of experts, even marketing experts from other different companies, and even our internal experts to provide those expertise and do the research so you don't have to. How exactly are people using social right now in search? Okay, honestly, I get excited about how the search has evolved. And I love how when you go to Google and you search something right now, social now is a part of the Google results. You can see an Instagram reel, you'll see an Instagram photo, or you can see something from TikTok. That is how social and search are one, colliding into creating that multi-channel search experience, but then also people are they're going to social first before they even go to Google. So for example, the other day, especially for local businesses, social is, I think, such an advantage and why we saw social media being one of their top traffic sources from the reporting, right? For example, the other day, I really wanted to know about this local coffee shop. So I didn't go to Google. I immediately went to Facebook, typed in that coffee shop's name because I'm sure all of us had to bear a little bit of that winter storm. So I wanted to know if they were open or if they were closed due to the weather, and just wanted to get a feel for the brand and like the people, and what better place to go to find out all that information than social, where you be social, show more of your personal brand, and you get to highlight your business hours, all of your products. And so I actually go to Facebook a lot of the time when I'm trying to research a local business. And also, for another example, my friend, when he was in the market for a vehicle recently, he actually went to TikTok to do a lot of his research because he could see real live walkthroughs, displays, and everything of this product, right? Instead of going to, like the website, right? And then going through, imagine how many clicks you got to go through to the subcategory of vehicle type, what kind of trim you want, and blah, 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 So in that way, they literally just satisfied and got the information and research they needed through that quick video in TikTok. And so it saved a lot of time, and more times social ends up being a more personalized experience and feels more human, right? Than AI overviews and having to double check sources and that credibility. Okay, I'll do one more. Oh, somebody asked for the website for those resources, wordstream.com, all one word. And yes, tons of reports for you to dig in, lots of blogs, and we come up with them daily. And then also Local IQ also has a bunch of resources too. We also come out with new reports and blogs daily, but WordStream, 10 out of 10 recommend. Let's see. We just had ChatGPT rewrite the first sentence of our homepage to GEO optimize. All right. Yes, relying on these AI tools, AI tools that can really help you save time. Would I completely rely 100% on AI tools to determine your SEO and GEO strategy? No, because you still have to differentiate your brand, and you still have to, there's still the human touch and expertise that will go into it that I don't really think that you can 100% rely on AI, trust AI to do for a strategy. Another report that we just came out with recently is, can you really trust AI with your PPC, by one of our content specialists, Susie. And she actually put many of these AI tools to the test with several questions on paid search advertising. And a lot of these didn't come out to be 100% accurate or correct. So if you want to go check out that report too, I think that would be a great resource if you want to learn more about paid advertising. But okay, let me do a couple more. Love that. We just searched for our business via ChatGPT and we came up, but the photos were different, of different locations, so not very good. How do we correct these errors? That is where the basics of SEO, and also more, it will be, yes, keyword intent, but if you don't have that specific location, if that, business name in Dallas, Texas, and you have another one that's in business name Birmingham, Alabama, those geo and very local search intent words need to be included in either headlines or anything that you have it listed for a contact on these directories, right? And so if it's pulling from different photos from a different location that you would like it featured, then it's not very clear on which location that you're either trying to search for. And that's when you can go into alt text into your images and even put your business name, your location, and back to the basics of product and service, embedding those into those images and making sure that those are aligned in your business listing descriptions and social about me section and so forth. So there's really some good practices there that you could correct, I think, where ChatGPT will then begin to have more clarity, specific location wise. Okay, I'm going to do one more question. There's so many. Thank you, guys. Okay. As a small service agency, should we manually track the visibility for keywords across AI, expense-wise? Should we manually track the visibility for keywords across AI, expense-wise? I think that there are plenty of tools out there, yes, that can help you monitor your mentions and help you monitor your AI referrals. That being said, that's where I feel manually tracking, I'm not really sure what you mean by just pulling the reports and then assessing from there. Yeah, I would just keep up with it, monitoring closely week over week, month over month, comparison to what mention or what that specific source, AI, was it ChatGPT? Was it, it could have been a Perplexity, what source that they were actually coming from, to see if you can identify trends and increases in traffic from either one, or if there's a specific word on how they are actually finding you through. So monitoring and trying to identify trends week over week, month over month, and then adjusting content accordingly. Okay, well, everyone, thank you so much for your time. Happy Thursday. It's almost Friday. Really glad that you guys all had the time to join me today, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks so much.